On Point Tactical says training trumps gear. And for the most part, I agree with that, but there are certain things that when you're still hunting, when you're, I suppose,
sitting.
I guess the question would be, why am I stuttering so much? I suppose a truer question would be, yeah, training does trump gear, but I think the other one is going to be discipline and tolerance trumps gear as well. Because the more shit that you can put up with, the more shit that you can take, the more uncomfortable you can be, the less gear you have to have in the woods. But when you're sitting for 2 hours, and then I think, well, I'm sitting for 2 hours, well, you know, snipers sit for freaking 12, 16, 24 hours, 3 days. So I suppose if they can do it, I can do it. But they're younger. They're like young kids, 30s and 40s. They're not in their 50s. But I suppose that...
Where do you put your poop?
You just poop right in your pants.
Poop the pants?
Yeah, poop and pee right in them pants. Don't I gotta wipe it up? So that's my dilemma this morning. I'm trying to figure out, okay, how can I get something lightweight, portable to get a camera into the woods that can hold the camera in the woods, but then the mount is completely jacked up, so that wasn't going to work. So now I'm back to a tripod, which that's what I've been using, but clinkety clankety, it's silverish, and you know, my other one, this one's definitely lighter, but mine's, you know, camouflaged, and so there's that, and then there's something to sit on. I can't lay on the ground because the field of the view, blah, blah, blah. Mike Krildar does a lot of bitching. He's just a whiner, isn't he? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So, off we go into the wild blue line here.
No soapboxing in the truck.
No soapboxing. So,
even the Native Americans had to stand and stretch eventually.
Yeah. I'm all talked out now.
I always thought it was like, what I had always heard from back in the eons and eons ago was, sit still comfortably as long as you can. And then when you need to move, just move. Just do whatever you gotta do. Stand up, stretch, get yourself, and then sit down again for as long as you can. And they bust you, right? I guess
yeah.
Some people are doing it for a living and they're getting paid big money to shoot 58-point bucks, and that ain't us, so move. That's whatever, man. Those deer busted me. Well, whatever.
So I got to go out, and I got to make a brush blind. Where I'm hunting is old clear cut, and there is not a lot to hide behind. And I got busted yesterday because I was uncomfortable sitting. So I got to try and do something today. So I will go out there and I will be as quiet and as stealthy as possible to set up a brush blind that I can sit in.
Like Elmer Fudd.
And not move and not be uncomfortable.
Looking for weapons.
But, I don't know. So many years of MMA and kickboxing and all that other stuff. And my body has a hard time sitting still without getting crampy. Damn it, that's what I was going to do. I was going to take an ibuprofen before I came out, and I didn't do that.
Huh. I don't think I got any of those.
Well, the fix is up, so I got a little bit better cover behind me. Hopefully I'll be a little bit more comfortable. The wind changed direction, so Lord knows what's going to happen here today. But got this brush blind built. And I'm nestled in behind it, so we'll see what we see. Hopefully I can have some luck.
Good afternoon, gang. It's Tuesday the 29th in the afternoon, and I'm just getting set up. I haven't checked to see if there's anything on the trail cam yet. Put down some more buck baits, doing heat scent, and getting set up. And you're like, why is that big window open? Because maybe you can't see it, but right there, right behind me, about 20 yards away, there's a ladder stand. It wasn't there before, but it's there now. So, you know, 2 thumbs up to the asshole that comes and puts up. You can't see my pop-up. I mean, you can see the pop-up. I ain't that good at blending in. So, yeah, that's state land for you. You get what you get when you get it. I guess we're used to it. Carry on.
Gotta love Michigan weather. I can't complain about the weather so far, but today it turned windy, and they got a winter weather advisory for tomorrow. So, not quite sure we're gonna finish up this gun season. I haven't seen nothing tonight, but on an interesting note, Gray Bear noticed a tree stand like 20 yards from where his pop-up is. Never fails for us. No matter where we sit, somebody else got something set up there. So, I don't know. It's windy and chilly and I ain't seen nothing. If I haven't said that yet. But we got about a half hour on left, so we'll see what shakes loose. November 30th, the cold November witch returns.
Last day of firearm.
Last day of fires in your arms.
Put the shotgun away.
Put the shotgun away.
Put the bolts actions away. Put the levers actions away.
Put all that stuff away.
Oh, you know what though? Down in the low zone, they're allowed to hunt with.
Yeah, they can use whatever they want. I heard they could use like a machete, or they can use a grenade launcher.
They can keep using, I guess, down.
1 in a million different things. So
It's the muzzleloader down there. It's the free-for-all down there.
woo! And she's a windy one. Craziness. All right then, here we go. Good luck. Why is that guy driving on the other side of the road? What the?
Pulled off the twos track.
Huh. Crazy then. Bye now. You know, we always talk to you about nomad shenanigans and the way things roll. So we're trying to go out in this cold weather, and we're going out a little bit late. And we run into a bit of a problem. Bam! Shenanigans brought to us by the gremlins of the woods. Now we gotta find a workaround. Here we go. Side-by-siders come flipping around the corner on that thing.
Wah, 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 thunk. I mean, you're gone. You're airborne.
Yep. Well, we're gonna have to do a little workaround, which, you know, I don't know what the power lines look like, but that's our only other option, is to go back around the other way. To go out this way.
I'm thinking you're right.
And we had to take a different way in. Had to take the roundabout.
The slot car track.
It's not horrible, but it's different. Well, at least we'll get back in there, get her in, pitter patter. There we go. There's some sound. Well, when we were pulling into park, there were two does right there. can't turn. Maybe something will show up. Maybe it won't, but not having much hope, so we'll see you guys a little bit later back at the truck. Can you hear that wind? I mean, my guess is if I was a deer, I'd want to be sticking to the low areas. It's a lumpy road.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you had a lumpy fart.
Oh, my camera's gonna fog right up, so.
If you got a lumpy fart, we got it really dry.
Other than them 2 deer we saw on the way in, did you see anything?
I saw one.
Really?
Yeah.
Walking by, no shooter?
No, I think if it was down by the Popples, I think if I'd have been in the pop-up, I probably would have.
Ah, son of a.
Yep. And I was just, where I was sitting was, all I did was go back where the 2-track turns.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just turned a little bit and went in, and the ladder was up in front of me, and then to the left of that's the pop-up, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm just looking kind of like the ladder's here, and I'm looking this way, and I can see all the way down to like where the popples are, and I'm like, what the? Is that a fern? That can't be a fern. And now I'm doing this with my eyes. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I got boogies in my eyes, and I just can't see. And then I put the binoculars on it, and I'm like, nope, that's a deer. And I couldn't make it grow any antlers that I could see through the binoculars. And I'm like, well, that's not a shot. It's got to move. It's got to come a little closer to get out of those popples. There's too much hoobajoob in between us. And it was just standing there, and then it started kind of like moving its head around inside the truck or something over here on the left.
On the left.
Started moving its head around, and then all of a sudden it just looked like in the way of the pop-up, and then
Big truck.
And then just went and was gone. Turned and ran. So if I'm facing this way, it ran that way, and I have no idea where it went.
You know what I saw? I saw watery eyes. That's all I saw. Wind blowing right in my face, and being up on top of that hill was not a good call. I think that they were moving a little bit lower where they're out of the wind. So I'm like, this really sucks. But
Watery eyes.
it was the last day of gun season, so I had to gut it out. Probably shouldn't even gone out tonight, but we were seeing deer tonight, so nothing on camera, because that's how it goes.
Watery eyes.
Sort yourself out. All right, now we're gonna hopefully not run out of gas and not rip the undercarriage off of the truck. Now that's it. That's the end of gun season. So now we go into some bow hunting, a couple days, maybe 1 day, and then we go right into muzzleloader, muzzleloader, or crossbow. See, now I would think that if you were to introduce a crossbow into any season, you'd introduce it into the muzzleloader season. That doesn't make sense to me. So, but I own a crossbow because I would use it during muzzleloader season. But not during the archery season, so I got a bow and arrow for it. Until I get so crippled up I won't be able to pull it back, then there I go.
There you go.
Okay, pitter patter.
Get the arthritis in you.